Hi guys! I thought today I would sit down and work on my November prompt in my one little word album. I kind of struggled a little bit with this prompt because, and maybe I'm in the minority here, but do let me know if this applies to you too, but I'm not ready to say goodbye to my word yet. My word this year was space, and when I chose this word around about this time last year, I didn't quite know just how that was going to apply to my life, but I will say that it has been the perfect word for this year. I have just gotten so much out of it, and so I'm not ready to say goodbye to that just yet. I really would like to continue to use this word as much as I can through the rest of the year. And let's be fair, it probably will continue on past 2020. So I wasn't really ready to sit down and write a goodbye letter to my word or even think about picking a new word for next year. I'm not at that point. Nothing's sprung up. Nothing's occurred to me, and I'm not gonna push that. I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of the time that I have. So I did things a tiny bit differently, and what I've gone ahead and done is I've typed up a couple of 3x8 cards, and I chose to kind of view this prompt as more of a kind of more and less sort of thing, just those opposing things. So I did actually start with my hello list. So these are things that I want to try to focus on through these last couple of months of this year, still related to my word space, but the things that I'm kind of inviting into these last few weeks. I've ended up with a list of 7. I did kind of reference some of the other writing that I've done in my album throughout the year when I wrote this. And then I've made a corresponding list of goodbyes, but these goodbyes are like 100% related to the things I want to say hello to. So when you invite something into your life, it generally requires the letting go of something else, and so that's what I've made my lists about: the things I want to invite in and the things that I'm going to let go of to make space for these things. So I've just typed these out on a couple of bits of 3x8 just white cardstock, and I'm going to pop these into my album and just really simply decorate these. I am working in a Life Crafted album, of course, so I don't have any 3x8 page protectors on me. I'm just going to make my own. So I'm going to do these 2 pages so that they fit into here, and I'm just going to pop these into the page protectors. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap, maybe about a 1/4 of an inch, and I am going to use my sewing machine to just stitch down the sides of both of these page protectors. So I'm going to go and do that now, and then I'm just going to really simply decorate these 2 pages.
So I've never really had any issues using my sewing machine to stitch pocket pages like this, but I do suggest, if you're having a go for the first time, maybe testing it out on a spare page protector, just to make sure you can get your sort of tension and stitch length and all of those things that are like individual to your sewing machine, just so you can make sure that those are right before you start on your actual page protectors. So I just stitched with some white thread, and then I use my paper trimmer to trim it. If you go kind of carefully, it's not a problem to trim those either. You could always use scissors, and hey, if you don't fancy using a sewing machine, use a fuse tool. You could even just tape it with washi tape if you wanted to. I just love having this different size in here. Now, when I say that I'm going to decorate this, it's kind of a little bit of an overstatement. All I have done is trim down 2 3x8 bits of pen paper. This one is from the Sweet Story collection. I've kind of been hoarding it. But what I realized during a little bit of a clean out the other day is that I've actually got 2 sheets of it. So it was sitting on my must use pile. And so today's the day. I just trimmed that down to 3 by 8, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on those pages. It's really just because I want my lists to kind of be facing each other. So they're going to be on the inside of a spread. And so I needed something to be on the outside of both of those pages rather than just kind of having plain white card from the back of these lists. I went through my stash of alphas and pulled out a few in my very usual colour scheme of teal and pink. Not even going to apologise for it this time. I wanted something that just spoke to me, and this is it. The only thing that I did check was that I want to label these numbers on each side so they're the same. And so I did need to make sure that these alphas all had at least 2 of at least one of the numbers. I needed numbers 1 through 7, and each alpha needed to have 2. It wasn't an issue. You can see I just kind of alternated them, pink and teal, pink and teal, pink and teal, all the way down the page. The numbering's like not identical. They don't end in the same place, so that's why I wanted the alphas to be the same, so that it was easily referenceable across the spread as to which one belonged with which one. Now, as far as like decorating, and again I'm using air quotes for that, these pattern paper pages, I didn't want to go too heavy on the decoration purely for the fact that this album is really full. It's really full already, so I don't want to add too much more bulk to this. There's only one more prompt to go, I know, but the album is already pretty bursting, and I know that there will be a few pages for the December prompt. There's a lot of writing in that one, and so I know it will take up at least a few pages, so I didn't want to add too much bulk with this. So all I did was grab my Spencer Outline Alpha from Citrus Twist. It's well loved, as you can see, and I'm just stamping hello and goodbye on the corresponding bits of paper. I've started at like the bottom right hand corner of each page. I have turned them 90 degrees so it's easier to stamp rather than trying to stamp vertically, and I am stamping in some Pink Fresh Detail Black ink. This is a new to me ink, and I'm still kind of testing it out. I haven't got any sort of final verdicts on it yet. I do quite like it. It has some limitations, but for this it was fine. It's a really dark black ink, which is difficult to see in this kind of video, but I wanted something that was really going to stand out on that pattern paper, and I think I achieved that. The other thing is it does dry very quickly, so I have no issues just slipping these straight into the page protectors.
And so that's my really simple take on this prompt this month. One more to go. I can't really believe it. Have you picked a new word for 2021? If you have, I would love to hear it. Please let me know down below in the comments. Or if you're like me and are still clinging onto your word for 2020, please let me know I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who's in that position. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.